Time, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, on my left, Elisabeth Cann from England. On my right, Yao Jie, Netherlands. Elisabeth Cann to serve, low ball, play.
And you're very welcome back. Badminton Europe TV, live here at the Dutch International.
Service over.
And we've reached the second game on the streaming court this afternoon. It's the women's singles semi-final between top seed Yao Jie of the Netherlands and number 1 English player Elisabeth Cann.
Service over, 1-0.
Contrasting in colours, Elisabeth in white and the Dutch number 1 in black. And really, Yao Jie, Anu, has to be the favourite here for this one.
Yes, I think she is. I mean, she won Finland a few weeks ago. I know she went to Australia after that, but she's a strong player, very experienced, and looking to be in a good shape.
Yeah, that was a poor serve from Elisabeth.
Over,
little sign of nerves maybe, but first semi-final in a while for Cann, I think. Has been struggling a little bit lately on tour. Again, one of these players is at every tournament looking for those points. Of course, the ongoing battle with Susan.
Yeah, I actually think that during the season she has been looking a little bit affected because of it when she has been on court, like just looking very stressed and not like looking like she's enjoying it so much. But I think this week she looks a little bit more free on the court, and I mean, of course, that's affecting you when you're playing a match if you're thinking about the points. So
I think realistically, when we look back at Finland, that was the watershed in the race for the Olympics, and certainly Susan is in pole position to qualify in that GB spot, and I think Elisabeth may realise at this stage, well, you know, she's maybe just losing that battle, and that pressure's just maybe come off her shoulders a little bit.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I haven't really looked at the ranking so much or the points, but to me it seems like Susan is quite a bit ahead of Elisabeth. And yes, if she now feels like she's not thinking about it so much anymore, it's
Of course, it was a big, well, I would say a big error earlier in the season back at the European mixed team or the team championships.
Yeah.
Where Susan played and Elisabeth wanted to go to Iran to play, I think, and
didn't
get a visa.
Yes.
So there was a lot of points lost.
I actually heard afterwards that it is possible to enter both.
Okay.
The rules are allowing it because it's a team event and an individual event. And I think the Austrian player Lahnsteiner, I think he was entered in both.
Okay.
So if the English Badminton Association had been smart, they could have maybe done the same.
Okay. But anyway, she's here now in the semi-final, and one thing about Liz is she'll never give up. She'll keep going.
5-0.
She definitely is a fighter and very professional. I mean, she was in the hole quite early, and I was sitting behind her while she was taping her feet and getting ready for the match.
Service over. 6-5.
And she really had a pretty good win against Camilla Augustin in the previous round, 14-12. So that's decent form.
Yeah, it's actually surprising. I would have thought it would be a very close match because Camilla is always a tough opponent. So,
5.
and it's not often that she's losing that big.
Of course, Yao Jie had that really tough battle in the opening game against the young Swiss girl, still 18 years of age, Nicole Schaller. I really like the way Nicole plays. I saw her 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago, and I went, oh, she's going to be good. And she really put it up to Yao Jie in that first game. And it was really a mark of the Dutch woman's fitness because, you know, a lot of questions about all these injuries and her fitness and can she last 3 games against a younger player, and she pretty much answered that in that match.
9.
Yes, I have many times seen Yao Jie on the court looking like she can't do anything anymore, like she can hardly walk or stand, but when the rally starts she's fighting and running
and 6.
And I'm pretty sure she knows that she can do that, so it's also something that gives her confidence. Even if she's feeling tired, she knows she can still keep going.
Yeah.
11-6 interval.
So Yao Jie with the interval lead at 11-6. And of course, when you have a coach like that in your corner, Zhu Haiwen. Actually, they speak in Chinese to each other all the time. So it really is a formidable team. Elisabeth on her own, not used to being on her own these days. You know, there's always a pretty big English team that go to all these events. So obviously she's coping well with it this week. Working well.
Seconds.
Still carrying that cold she's had for the last 2 months.
It's also really cold in this hall.
Yeah,
noses are running.
Yeah, I walked in here the first day and it was quite nice outside, but oh man, it was cold in here. It's one of these old halls. I think this is what Elisabeth will do all day, is just keep that shuttle in the court.
Well, she did make quite a few errors at the beginning of the first set.
6.
It seems like she wants to keep pushing Yao Jie to the back of the court, playing quite flat as well.
Yeah. What is the perfect tactic to play against Yao Jie? Is there one?
I would
Have you worked
like
that out?
to know that, because if I win my first round next week, I will play against Yao Jie.
Okay.
12.
So this is interesting homework for you.
Yes.
Ah, yes, that break of the wrist and that return of serve.
Service over.
Yao Jie does that very well, and Sabrina
13-7.
Jacquet has that really good return of serve.
Yeah, she is quite good in returning the short serves. That's true.
Yeah, the push down.
It's just mistakes like that.
14-7.
But do you find it, Anu, when you're playing somebody of Yao Jie's caliber, you're forced to go for the lines even more?
Well,
or is it a mental thing?
I think it's a mental thing. It's a little bit the same that I was talking about in the mixed doubles. When you play against someone who is better than you and you think that they are capable of doing nearly everything on the court, then you start feeling like you have to do extra.
Yeah.
But it normally doesn't work, because then you make the mistakes, or you do something stupid because you're trying to pressure when you're in bad balance. Or so it really is better if you can trust in your own game and play that, and see how far you can push your opponent just with playing.
So yeah, really it is a mental thing. You know, it's you've mentally almost beaten yourself against a good player, thinking of ways to try and beat them, pushing yourself outside of your own level of play almost.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the last rally where Elisabeth is high at the net and she just needs to put it over the net, and she wants to do a little bit more just to hit a little bit closer, so that Yao Jie is a little bit more under pressure, and she makes the mistake instead of just playing it over. And then she's gonna get a lift, and she has to start over again. But you just have to be ready to work for a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all going Yao Jie's way at the moment in this first game.
19-7.
That's 7 points in a row on her serve. Those legs of Yao Jie heavily strapped. Of course, all the talk was after the last Europeans that she was retiring at that point. But
8-9-10.
obviously that was all talk.
Well, I did talk to her as well about it, and she was saying that she was going to stop, but I think she still enjoys playing badminton, and with Eric also playing,
I agree.
I mean, it's nice for them to be doing this together as well.
Of course, she started up an academy back in China
Game point
last year, I think, maybe 2 years ago now. So obviously there's some intent to go back there at some point. And I did some time with Eric on a coaching course up in Aalborg.
Game.
That's the first game to Yao Jie. Elisabeth matched her point for point early on in the game.
First game
was tied at 5-5, but
21-8.
after that Yao Jie has just slipped into another gear, but I think Elisabeth's making too many errors.
Definitely. It seems like she wants to do a lot with the shuttle all the time, and instead of maybe giving Yao Jie a little bit more time and opportunities for her also to make some mistakes, she's doing everything.
Yeah. You travel a lot, Anu, and you travel on your own. You don't have a coach. And is it much of an advantage to have a coach in your corner? Or are you quite happy just to work away on your own? So the question I'm asking you is, if you had the opportunity, if somebody could magically pay for a coach to travel with you, would you prefer it, or are you quite happy on your own?
I am quite happy on my own, but I do think that there, of course, are situations where you don't see everything that's happening on the court, and it could be good to have someone there to just give you some hints of what's happening. But it's also something that you need to be used to as a player, because I've never really been used to being coached, and also you need to have the right kind of person doing it. So
you have to have that chemistry, of course, with the person
20 seconds.
who's sitting in that chair.
20 seconds.
Some players just like a coach, it's just somebody to look at. I often hear players say that just in the atmosphere of a game, it's just somebody who you can look at this and who can give you encouragement.
I don't feel so much that I need that, but if I could have, I'm sure Xu Weiwen is a good coach. I'm sure she sees things that are happening on the court and can give you some really good tactical advice, and that's what if I had a coach sitting behind me, that's what I would want to have.
Yeah.
Service over.
I've coached once in my time, once only, and that was at Super Series. Believe it or not, imagine starting at the top.
And how did that go?
I gave up after that once. It was with Ella Deal in France 2 or 3 years ago. She had no coach, so I sat in her corner. And that was the last time I did it, and the first time.
Did she blame you after?
Well, it was against Wang Yan, so I think I
it
picked
was
the
all
wrong
your
match.
fault.
It was all my fault, of course. Talk about picking the wrong match. Fun times.
Four, 3, 1.
Yeah, that's better from Liz. She nods her head. She liked that one.
Service over. 2, 3.
A lot of pressure, certainly on all the English players to perform. And you see that they have completely mixed up all their women's doubles again now, moving forward.
I heard that they have made some changes.
Service over. 4, 2.
The Denmark International coming up at the beginning of May. We'll see the first of all those new pairings being put to the test.
Four. Service over. 3, 4.
Again, the return of serve from Yao Jie, completely
Service over.
almost catching Elisabeth flat-footed.
5,
A lot
3.
of strapping on Liz's left ankle, more than usual, I think. You know all about that, Anu. Yeah.
Well, I asked her about that.
Service not called.
And she was saying that she has had some problems
Service
with her
over.
Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
She
5.
didn't say it was bad, but just that it's been feeling quite tight, and
Yeah.
it's more to just make sure that it doesn't get worse.
Okay.
But the floor here is quite hard.
Yeah. They put a new floor in this
Service
hall
over.
since last year, I think. Last year, the tournament was held in the
6,
adjoining hall,
Yes.
and they laid a new floor, and it is quite hard.
It's not really made for badminton, but
No. I think the floor in Poland too was really hard. A lot of players were talking about that.
I definitely could feel it in my knee.
7, 4.
So what's next for you, Anu? Olympics will come. Hanging up the racket after that? Or is that a bold question?
Service over.
No, yeah, my plan is to play until the
5,
Olympics. Hopefully
7.
I'm going to be
Yeah.
there, and then, then I need to figure something out. I need to find out what I'm going to be when I grow up.
Okay. Maybe you should try politics.
Politics.
They always give roundabout answers, politicians, don't they?
I don't do that. No, the thing is I don't have that many plans yet.
Yeah. Is coaching a thing you'd like to do, or is it just something that's not for you?
Coaching is definitely something that I would like to do. And
7.
I mean, badminton is my passion, and I love this game. So when I stop, I still want to be involved, and I would love to try to help Finnish badminton players.
Okay.
But right now, I'm still going to stay in Denmark next year. And
Okay.
And if I want to coach, then I think it's a good place to collect some knowledge.
Yes, of course. Certainly a good time to get involved with the Finnish nationals set up at a junior level, because some nice juniors there are certainly players with potential.
Yeah, we have quite a good group of juniors. And yeah, the good thing is that it is a group and they are doing a lot of stuff together, which is not normal for Finnish badminton. So hopefully they will continue. But we do need more players in Finland.
Yeah. Elisabeth played that smash right onto the racket of Yao Jie. Oh, well played, yeah. Elisabeth punches the air. Takes a look back, expected to see a coach there, but nobody there.
7-8.
I do think that for the last points that she has been playing better and she's able to move Yao Jie a little bit more on the court. So now it's interesting to see if she can keep doing that or...
Oh, just out.
Service over. 9-7. Fourth. Service over. 8-9. Nine all.
You must be looking forward to that first round. Getting it out of the way. You have to be favoured in that, of course. And moving on to the second to try and take down Yao Jie.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the Europeans. I actually played against Elisabeth a few weeks ago or a month ago in Croatia, and she was giving me a little bit of trouble, but I hope I can come through that match, and it would be really nice to play against Yao Jie.
Service over. 10-9.
For a medal? Okay. I'm just a boring athlete thinking one match at a time.
Yeah, anyway, as you said, this is a good spell now for Liz.
It's over.
And she's giving
10-0.
Yao Jie a little bit more height to the back. And then she's, with that, opening the court a little bit more. So her shots to the front court are more, what is it called, effective?
Yes, yes.
11-10. Interval.
Yeah, and it's Liz who goes into the interval. 1 point lead. And certainly a much better spell for the English number one. Elisabeth, so professional, as you said, so methodical about everything she does. Really leaves no stone unturned in her preparations for any tournament.
No, and you see her also after the matches cooling down and doing her stretching and just being very professional.
Cut 20 seconds. Cut 20
might
seconds.
Start stretching soon as well.
Me too.
Hurry up, please. $11-10. Play.
Yeah, good patience from Yao Jie, just
Service over.
moving Liz around.
11
And finding the open
all.
space down the forehand corner. Yeah, a good smash down at the feet.
Service over. 12-11.
What I've noticed recently, certainly in the last year, 2 years, the amount of time now that is taken between points. Do you do that? You take so much time. You have a little walk around, you know, just to catch your breath again. I'm not saying you in particular, but players in general take so much time, more time.
You think so?
Yeah. For sure. Especially in singles play, obviously.
Service over.
I'm not sure if I do that. Do I do that?
12
You do when you
all.
lose a point. Yeah. That's when your tongue hangs out and you walk around in a circle. Yeah.
God, there is no tongue hanging out. I don't know how you managed to catch it in the pictures.
Service over. 13-12.
Yao Jie always looks like she's literally on her last legs, about to collapse, but then she can stretch like that.
Yeah, in the rally she really can just keep going and push from her feet, even though she looks like she's really tired between the rallies.
Yeah.
Now she really has to run because Liz is playing her all four corners.
Yeah, she's really moving her around now. That's a really good play from Liz.
14-12.
Now she's also using the different heights to the back. In the first set she was pretty much just playing it flat and just giving it one height, one speed the whole time. Now she's changing the speed and the height the whole time, and I think it's giving Yao Jie some problems.
Service over. 13-14.
Always difficult to take Yao Jie on at the net and come out on top.
14 all.
No, she's Dutch, but it's pretty much the same with any Chinese player.
Yes.
Fourth.
Ooh.
Service over. 15-14.
Europeans, Anu is next. Anything planned after that? Tournament-wise, or is that's it, end of qualification?
Well, I am going to Portugal, which
Oh,
is the
yes.
last tournament
Yes.
of the qualification.
Yes.
And I'm also planning on playing the Danish tournament
okay,
since it is in Denmark. And
Yeah.
I know it's quite far from Copenhagen, but it's still the same country, so it
16-14.
feels a little bit like a home tournament for me.
Okay.
Ladies,
How long are you in
play on.
Denmark now?
A
Too long.
long
Play on,
time.
Long time.
ladies.
I wouldn't say too long. I actually
Long enough to be fluent in Danish?
I enjoy staying there. Yes.
Yes.
Fluent in Danish.
Correction out. Yeah,
Yeah, I
sure.
think
Correction.
for sure that was out.
Yeah, it definitely looked like
I
it
think
was
that
out.
line judge was going to get that Babala racket on the head.
You're here.
I was close that the umpire didn't get the Carlton racket in the head.
Yes, yes. Ooh, little word of warning, I think, for Yao Jie. But certainly, I think he was correct to overrule.
17-14.
In terms of qualification, Anu, in your qualification for the Olympics, where is it? Where do you stand right now? Is it still? Are you pretty much qualified, do you think, or what is the situation? Or have you added the points up?
I actually don't do that. I try not to look at the points too much. I think if I play well enough, I should be in the Olympics. If I don't play well enough, then I'm not.
Service over.
And yeah, you see so many players during this period just starting counting the points, looking at the results the whole time, and when they go on court, they're so nervous and stressed about everything that they can't really play badminton anymore. And I've seen it. I mean, I've been around for quite a few years, so I've seen it. I mean, this season and also the before the previous Olympic Games. And it's always the same.
Service over.
Well, I think in some cases, certainly in the men's doubles, it's so tight for qualification there, and even in the men's singles for the last European spot. Some of these guys, I think, have to count points.
Yeah,
even just to see where they play and where they don't play, you know.
Of course, you need to try to be wise as well, to choose the right tournaments to play and just to plan everything. But it's also impossible to know what everyone else is going to do.
Yeah. And of course, in Olympic year, you get a lot of Asians coming across to Europe to fight out some of these international challenges.
Yeah, definitely.
Service over. 19-17.
There's always an army of Japanese coming to Austria, for example.
Yes. Actually, interesting point on the army of Japanese who turn up in Austria every year. They're a school team, and in China at that particular time, it's a week off, and they travel to the Austrian International every year.
A school team.
Yeah, well, a university. Does that make you feel any better?
It does. It does, because when you said school team, I'm thinking third graders.
Yeah. Okay.
I lost to one of those.
Yeah, it's a great point for Liz. Takes her to game point.
20, game point, 18.
You know, I certainly wouldn't have forecast this in this second game, certainly after 21-8 in the first. But exactly as we said, Anu, Liz will fight and come up with a tactic. And she's right back in this. Oh! Ouch.
Service over. 19-20.
And all these players with all their little routines. What do you have? What routine do you always go through before a match or during a match?
Well, during the match, apparently it's the tongue
Is
coming.
the tongue hanging out? Yeah.
I don't know. My warm-up's pretty much the same every time. Apart from here, I did a Bear Grylls inspired warm-up because it was so cold in the hall and my hands were frozen. But
I certainly noticed with you this time before your first match that you were, how would I put it, less concentrated in the hall. And there's the first game or second game to Liz. I think she deserved that. You know, she really worked hard in that second game.
I think she was playing really smart in the second game. And yeah, the mistakes are gone right now. So, so if she can keep this up, then this is going to be a very interesting third game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can see. Look, you can look at the body language from Yao Jie. She's a lot of heavy breathing going on there, taking time just to compose herself, I think.
It's true, but I've seen it so many times before. So playing in China Open one year where I thought she was about to faint on the court. And when the rally started, she just kept going.
When you look back over your own career, what were the highlights? You know, the good thing, obviously playing and being at the Olympics is any athlete's dream and highlight. Any other little things that stick out in your own, in your mind when you look back?
Of course, I mean, there's good matches and,
20 seconds.
and tournaments and moments, but
20 seconds.
right now I'm still playing, so I'm not looking back so much.
Okay. Politics is certainly the way to go.
Definitely not. I don't think you can make jokes in politics.
Final game.
Well, politics is a joke.
Love on.
So certainly at home in Ireland. Any one player that you've beaten, you know, you've performed really well on any particular day and you've beaten a really top player. Any matches like that you can remember?
Yeah, well, I enjoyed beating Pi Honyang at the Denmark Open.
Oh, yeah.
I went to quarterfinals, but then got beaten badly by one of my good friends, Tina. Tina Baun.
Yeah.
Oh, she was Rasmussen at that point.
Yeah. Different name, same player.
2 love.
Of course, Tina's one of those players who just came of age very late in her career. Again, struggling with injury a lot these days, Tina. So
3 love.
It'll be interesting to see her at the Europeans because I heard that she has been able to be injury-free for a while.
Yeah.
And when she's able to do that, she's always strong.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
Service
I'm
over.
really looking forward to seeing her at the Europeans.
1-3.
Oh, just down.
Service over.
Talking about Honyang, I also remember playing against her at the French Super Series, second round. It was an evening match because it was Honyang, of course.
Oh, yes, of course, for
Big
TV.
crowd.
Yeah.
I started off by being down 15 love.
2-4.
And Judith Mellendijks was sitting behind my court, coming in at 11. She said, I don't know what to tell you. When I scored my first point, the crowd went crazy.
Yeah.
It was very quiet until that.
Yes.
So I try not to look back so much.
Yes, okay. I get your point.
3-4.
I've always loved the French Open. I love the atmosphere there, and that hall is superb for badminton. And the French crowd are amazing.
It's a really nice tournament. It is my favorite tournament.
The Stade Pierre de Coubertin.
Yes.
Great for spectators because the stands go up and hang over the court. So you've got a really good view.
It's also nice to play in there because you feel that it's very intimate and the atmosphere gets it's really nice to play.
Yeah.
It's often in the big halls for the Super Series, the crowd is so far away and the court is just tiny thing in the middle.
I agree.
But really in the French Super Series, you feel the crowd around you and it's such a nice feeling.
4.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you had a blueprint for a badminton hall arena, that would be the one you would use. So it's 5-4. Back to this match. And, oh, there's that cross-court net from Yao Jie again. Just breaks the wrist at the last minute.
6-4.
Must be her favorite shot.
Yeah.
Liz was quite good in, especially in the second set. I think she was quite good in getting that back, and she was quite early at the net and just pushing Yao Jie back. But you do forget sometimes that it's gonna come.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come.
And it's such a good shot that even though you know it's gonna come, you still
7-4.
run to the back court.
Again, Liz just moving Yao Jie around.
It just looks like she's a little bit short
Yeah,
on her
definitely.
clears right now.
Yeah.
Ladies singles at its best.
Yeah. You said it, not me.
Service over. 5-7.
Oh, the smash from Liz right into the body of Yao Jie, and then getting lucky
6-7.
with the neck court. Being fluent in Danish, any other languages you speak? Other than Finnish, of course, and English.
Swedish
Swedish.
and German.
Oh.
And
Service
English,
over.
but he mentioned that.
English, German, Swedish, Finnish, Danish.
8-6.
Danish, yes.
Maybe teaching would be a good profession when you grow up.
Well, being the politician I am, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to tell everyone that I'm not fond of. Oh, never mind.
No, yeah. Oh, yes, hit the line. Plumb on the line.
9-6.
Now would be a good moment to be fluent in
In
Chinese,
Chinese, yes.
just to know what they are talking about. It would be very interesting to know what Wai Wen is, how she's coaching Yao Jie for this match.
Ten, 6.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
11-6.
That's a nice lead now for
Interval.
Yao Jie at the interval,
Change
11-6. Even changing end is difficult in a third set. Oof. People really don't understand how difficult singles is, and how physically demanding it is.
Yeah, you do need to be able
Court
to
one,
run for
20
a long
seconds.
time.
Court 1, 20 seconds.
I mean, this is 41 minutes now, and
Yeah.
it's not even a long match.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very important that you can keep the rally going.
Is it enough, Anu, you know, when you're playing all the time in tournaments, especially in this Olympic period, where you literally have a tournament every week? Is that enough to keep you fit and for the, you know, the correct levels of fitness, or do you have to do extra work? Hard work, hard graft in the gym, or hard graft out running on the days that you're not on the court?
Right.
Well, I think it's really important that you have a strong base, but that's something that you need to work on before.
Yeah.
Of course, you can maybe take some time where you're really working on the physical stuff, but if you have a strong base from you know, from your junior years and from earlier, then it's quite easy to maintain it. And it's often you see players that are getting a lot of injuries or getting in bad shape. It's because they haven't. I mean, this is not nice to say because I'm not. Of course, it's not everyone, but there's a lot of players who maybe haven't done the work when it was needed, and then it's hard to maintain it or work during these kind of seasons.
Play on, ladies. Play on.
The umpire asking both girls to play on. Very difficult to do this late in the third set. Or should I say third game? Being technically correct, because they're not sets.
7-13.
So important now that Liz really hangs in there and doesn't let Yao Jie get any free points.
Oh yeah, took that early.
8-13. Service over.
I spoke to Liz. I interviewed her in Finland, and one thing she knows she's as fit as or fitter than most people, so she's quite willing to go the distance with a lot of players and just run them around the court. But you still got to hit the shuttle in.
15-8.
That's a big lead now for the top seed. I think Liz felt she had the winner on the first smash.
8.
Yao Jie just been really patient in this rally. Oh, a really good opportunity for Liz. She knows that. Throws the racket up in the air.
17-8. Don't do that.
She's just, when she's getting the chance, she's just, again, pushing it a little bit extra. Just trying to go for the line for the winner.
$18-8.
Oh, I thought that went over. No, it didn't. Just looking at the wall are all the names of all the winners. You're missing. Was it 1999? The one that's missing off the wall.
I think so.
Too many errors, I know, at this stage from Elisabeth.
19-8.
Yao Jie was really working hard at the beginning of the third set, and she actually looked quite tired. But it seems like it was a very good investment.
Yeah.
Game.
That's it. Controlled from Yao Jie in the end, and again, Yao Jie advances to another final. Of course, she's going for back-to-back wins on the European circuit after winning in Finland 2 weeks ago. 3-set win for Yao Jie. We'll be back shortly with the first of the men's singles semi-finals.